The first Jordan 13 of 2024 is about to arrive. Last year, we saw quite a few of them. Just on my channel, I reviewed 4 of them, and here's the latest one. Air Jordan 13 Blue Gray. Now this shoe is dropping on February 10th for $200. Originally, when the Jordan 13s first released in 1997, that came out for a price of $150. That's around $280 in today's money. And the Jordan 13 was the last shoe that Michael Jordan wore for a full season as a Chicago Bull. For his last game as a Chicago Bull though, he put on the Jordan 14s. He wasn't supposed to, he did it anyway. He had that super famous shot against the Utah Jazz in a 14. Now initially, this shoe was going to feature more yellow ochre, and it was actually referred to as the Jordan 13 yellow ochre. They went and revised the shoe. The yellow ochre is much more subdued, which I prefer. I definitely prefer this colorway than like super early images of this shoe, so I'm glad they made that change. And right off the bat, I'm not like a super huge fan of the 13s. I think they're nice, but like I really gotta love the colorway to love a Jordan 13. So first impressions out of the box, clean, it's nice. I don't think it's nothing great. I think there's better Jordan 13s, better colorways. Yeah, this doesn't make me feel this inner instinct to like must have this shoe. It just doesn't. And the upper sole of this shoe, it is pretty standard for a Jordan 13. The base layer is leather, and it's white leather. It's nice and soft around the toe box area. Not as soft as the black flints and the playoffs that we saw pretty recently. I feel like the toe box leather on those, slightly a tad, maybe a bit better. It's got that tumble texture on the overlays. And the reason why the overlays are like this dimple shape, it is because this shoe, designed by legendary designer Tinker Hatfield, he was inspired by the Panther for the Jordan 13s. Michael Jordan's nickname, one of his nicknames was Black Cat. So he's inspired by the Panther, and the dimples, they're supposed to resemble a panther's whiskers. And then you see below the dimples, it is this blue suede, and that suede, it is synthetic. For Jordan 13s, it's pretty normal to have synthetic suede on that area of the shoe. And you can definitely tell that it's synthetic just by running your hands over it. It's got this kind of almost carpet-like artificial feel to it. And right at the top of the tongue, it is Jumpman in the yellow ochre color. So only parts of the shoe has that yellow ochre color. So like the Jumpman, the little Jordan at the bottom of the eye stays, the outsole, and the Jumpman on the insole. Now I do want to point out the leather that goes up the tongue. That is synthetic leather. Again, pretty standard for a Jordan 13. So when you press down like on the tongue, you get this very like plastic feel to it. You don't see the wrinkles that you see on genuine leather when you press down. And one thing about that material, it's everybody's pet peeve of the Jordan 13, is that it causes this like farting noise. I'll demonstrate. So when you're walking around, people are gonna think you're letting off gas. If you're fine with that, maybe that doesn't bother you. And without a doubt, the most unique thing about the Jordan 13, it is this little hologram that you see on the heel counter of the shoe. And while I'm talking on this video, I put like the seal back over this hologram. When I'm holding the shoe, when I do a review, I try to make it like as fresh out of the box as possible. But this hologram, without a doubt, just one of the coolest things that's been put on sneakers ever. And that was also inspired by the Panther. That's meant to resemble the Panther's eyes. And the Jordan 13 does come with a Phylon midsole with a Zumia unit both on the forefoot as well as the heel. And Phylon, if you didn't know, that's a type of foam. It is used on a lot of Jordan and Nike shoes. And it also has weight savings. So compare it to like a rubber cup sole from the Jordan 1, you can definitely feel the difference. And the very, very nice looking rubber outsole. Herringbone traction, and the outsole, it's also inspired by the Panther. That is supposed to resemble a Panther's paw. Just really cool how it all ties in together. And then also on the outsole, it's not quite a hologram, but kind of same idea. See a little Jumpman over there. And one of my favorite things to put on sneakers as far as tech specs goes, it is the carbon fiber shank plate. Now carbon fiber, if you didn't know, it's a super lightweight but very durable and supportive material. So when they put it in shoes, it barely adds any weight while still providing a ton of support. And one thing, because of that super unique outsole pattern of the Jordan 13, is at the tip of the toe box, you'll see like this little dimple, this little dent that always stuck out to me for whatever reason. This shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just white laces. I think an extra set of blue laces might actually look pretty nice. At least just let me see how it looks. Or black laces, more standard color. But yeah, just white laces out of the box. That's it. The shoe comes with a very, very standard Jordan 13 box. Nothing special at all. And now in terms of sizing and comfort, for Jordan 13s, I usually go true to size. I do have wide feet. It still fits me pretty well. And the Jordan 13s, I say this all the time, it's one of the more comfortable Jordans, at least from 1 to 14. It's super light, even though it might look like a more bulky shoe. It is very light. The Phylon midsole as well as the carbon fiber shank plate, that has enough support, responsiveness, while being super lightweight, and the padding around the shoe, inside the shoe, as well as the Zoom Air setup on the forefoot, as well as the heel. Those are all really nice tech specs, at least for someone like me. I feel like it's a very decent, comfortable shoe that works for like everyday casual use. And if you want to play ball in them, you can definitely still do that in 2023 or 2024. It still holds up. It definitely holds up. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 13 Blue Gray to 30 out of 40. Pretty average score compared to other general releases. Now in terms of colorway, I think this is a pretty nice colorway, but I don't think it's like something that really gets me out of bed, doesn't get me super excited. It's pretty standard, pretty simple. I do really like this blue actually, but I think just in terms of the overall colorway, I'm not like dying for this shoe. It's nice, but just nothing great. In terms of the materials, pretty standard for Jordan 13. Decent leather around the overlays and the toe box. Nothing super premium. The synthetic suede as well as that super synthetic tongue, that's not the best, but it's expected for a standard Jordan 13. The tech specs, however, I really like. File midsole, 2 Zoom Air units. Yeah, that's honestly my preferred tech specs for Nike and Jordan shoes. And that brings me to comfort. That type of setup, usually for me, makes it feel very comfortable. It's lightweight, it still has decent enough cushioning. It's not super flat to the ground, but also not like super soft. I just feel like it strikes a really good balance. Still a very comfortable shoe to this day. Now, in terms of versatility, I think the Jordan 13s, if you're not like a huge sneakerhead, and if you're not like a huge Jordan guy, if you just saw the shoe, it's quite obviously like a basketball shoe. I don't think many people would reach for this shoe if they're going for something casual and they don't know anything about sneakers in general. But in terms of the colors, super easy to wear. Very easy to pair with different outfits. Obviously a majority white sneaker, so that's always a bonus in terms of versatility. Colorways, pretty versatile. Jordan 13s, not as much. This shoe actually kind of reminds me of another Jordan 13 that I have in my current rotation. I don't have a ton of Jordan 13s left, just the playoffs, the black flints, as well as this one. This is the Soulfly Jordan 13. I actually really like this shoe. I think it's kind of different. The ripstop material, even though I love leather more than anything else, I think the ripstop material is a pretty bold choice. Now looking at it, it's similar, but at the same time it's not. Which one would I prefer? Definitely this one. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 13 Blue Gray. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes